Video. Today we'll be unboxing the
Perfect.
stuff.
Go
I'm not actually
that's
doing the intro.
Hey y'all, Cody and Clance here at the Bar 7 Ranch again, and today we've got another unboxing video for you. This is something we've been waiting for a while. If you had anything to do with these old square bodies, you know that the instrument clusters are just a cluster sometimes. They're a mess. So Clance and I decided if we're going to go as far as we've gone into this pickup build, we might as well replace the instrument cluster. So we're going to do the unboxing of his brand new...
I think we've decided that on everything.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like a money pit over here. So, but today we're going to open our new gauges, and these are from New Vintage. Let's make sure I get that right. New Vintage USA. And
let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
Plating's way better at unboxing.
There ain't no fun in sitting around, right? People want to see it and not listen to you talk the whole time, Dad.
I think I said the wrong name there. We better.
Cut.
We'll unbox, guys, while Dad checks on the name.
Yeah.
We can always correct the name later, right?
Since he's old.
Nope, New Vintage USA. That's right.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, hang on right here. That could just pull straight up out of there.
I know, I was gonna just pull it up out of there.
Okay, so here are the instrument cluster that we decided to go with. So on this, you're going to use your old bezel, and we're going to put the speedometer, the tach, because we're going from an automatic to a standard, and this truck originally did not have a tachometer on it. We've got a fuel gauge, water temp, oil pressure, and voltage meter. So you get all 6 of these in the kit that we bought. Let's pull that out of there. Give y'all a look at those babies. Pretty awesome. The cool thing about these is, I'm going to turn this around and let y'all see without maybe is all the secondary gauges, the 4 smaller gauges, they plug into, 2 plug into the speedometer and 2 plug into the tachometer. And that's it. You don't, and then they get all of their feed from these 2 gauges. So it's going to clean up your wiring harness a lot.
You just show them everything. Dad, this is my first time unboxing this too.
Well,
He didn't even.
so Bob,
Turn it around for him.
Well, thank you. Man, isn't it great you finally show your son and not the audience? It's neat. Ain't that cool?
okay, so you've got these brackets here, and it comes with everything you need. It's got the instruction manuals, it shows you how to wire it, everything like that. So
I'm just gonna take a random
So
guess.
your 4 smaller gauges go in here, your 2 big ones there. These little guys, Clancy's got it held around backwards, but these are your blinkers. And then here's your bezel. I got it hid out.
Oh, it goes
here.
this way. Does it?
Yep. So
Like that?
I'm pretty sure, which we'll find out a little closer when we get done, that you'll take all this and it'll mount onto here, onto your bezel, or you may mount it in the dash first. I'm not real sure, and the bezel slides over. But yeah, so we're excited to get started on that tonight. And I know y'all are gonna be like, well, if you're gonna go through all that, you need to clean this up. We're gonna, we'll hit this with probably some like window cleaner or something, glass cleaner, but we want it to still have a little bit of an old feel. We want some of the old stuff from the truck, from the original trucks, still in there. We don't want just everything to be replaced and new, but the stuff that counts, like the gauges, the air conditioner system, the motor, all that kind of stuff, we really want it to work right. So what do you got there? Oh, that's your GPS speedometer. So that's another thing we're really excited about is...
Did I drop something out?
I don't think so.
I thought I heard something drop.
This guy it runs off a GPS, so the cable that runs from your transmission up around through your firewall into the back of your instrument cluster, we don't have to have that anymore. We're going to go to this electronic one. So going through all kinds of hardship, and I'm trying to show you how to do it where it's easier.
Boys, y'all are on video now. No fighting. Oh, let me turn this so y'all can see it. I'm gonna go cook, so about 25 minutes to 30 minutes.
Okay. We're gonna be right here. Okay, so you got that done. All right, so the next thing it says to do is install bracket to dash at top using spacers and number 8 3/4 inch screws, which that'll be these guys. Here, I think like such.
Wrong.
Huh?
Wrong. This is the back.
All right, so turn it over the way you want it. So you want your, now's where you got to decide which side you want your speedometer on the left or the right or right in front of you. So you might want to look, you can put it wherever you want to. Pretty cool.
It wasn't like, it felt like it wasn't even stuck to it.
Oh.
Like, look, that's not
Oh, yeah,
sticky
just
at
like
all.
static.
Yeah. How do they do that?
I don't know. So that should go through there. Then these guys are going to go on the back side.
On the back side.
And go through.
Oh, and then you tighten that down and it pushes against the back and keeps it in there.
Let's get those out. You're going to have, so do you want your speedometer there?
I would want my speedometer on the left side and then my
tack on the right.
Tack on the right. Isn't that how they usually are anyways?
That's the way it is in my pickup, but if you, some of these factory trucks had that on them. I mean, they had it factory from there. So you might pull that up on your phone real quick and see where it was from the factory. You don't have to do it that way. I mean, it's yours.
I think I want it like this anyways. I think it'll
Let's see if it shows. The way they show it set up in all of their pictures is the speedometer on the left, the tack on the right.
So do I need to take these nuts off of here?
Well,
oh, yeah.
There's some nuts and washers there. I don't know what these little guys are.
I probably wouldn't just start pressing buttons on them.
It ain't gonna do nothing. That's some kind of a, that lets you go through your
settings?
Settings, yep.
I knew it. I knew it.
Then you got here, this is I believe that's a temperature sensor. Maybe. Lots of little screws and stuff, and then you got all kinds of little oil filter deals, oil deals there. So
I think that's where I'd want it, or up there like that.
All right, you like that?
Yep.
Starting off.
Just hand me a nut.
Yeah, you probably need to just pull those off the back.
I figured hand tighten it. Oh, what are those other nuts for?
Well,
I mean, they don't go on those, I wouldn't think. Oh, I guess these two probably take a nut.
No, leave those. Those don't have anything to do with this portion.
I know, but I'm saying these three probably take a nut.
These probably are the ones that need to go on. There's 4 here.
Well, 3 of those.
I bet all these littler ones, there's 2, 4, 6, 8. And you've got 2, 4, 6, 8. So these are going to go with that. So.
Did you even read instructions?
Yeah. All right, so you're going to have, it's going to go on like this. You got a flat washer, lock washer, and then the nut. Got it? You put the flat washer on first?
No, you handed me the lock washer first.
All right.
All right, flat.
Lock and then the nut.
Lock and then nut.
Yep. I'm betting you're going to have to back that other one back to it. Does that make sense? And then you tighten them together so that it's not, doesn't try to pull that thread out of the, does that make sense? So why don't you run those back first?
Run what back?
Okay. Take that off. Take the bracket off. And then these guys, you need to, will they turn or no? Well, maybe it won't.
I don't think that's what those are for, to do that. I think that keeps it all together. The reason I didn't have much room is because I didn't have it pushed up from the front, pushed back.
I wonder if you could just say camera off. Camera, stop recording. I think you can do that with the GoPros, not with this thing.
I do not think you can even do that with the GoPros.
You can do it with the GoPro. I'm positive.
Don't get the GoPro right now. I want to see it happen.
Got that one.
Even my phone don't do that.
What do you need? Just a nut?
You can't just tell your phone to, hey Siri,
Record.
turn off.
Record. All right, guys. So we're gonna cut you off because y'all don't need. I don't think that thing's got much battery, anyways, does it?
I think the battery's full.
Guys, so we've made some progress. Clance is going to show you here. Flip it around and show the folks at home what your bezel looks like. Not your bezel, but yeah, your instrument cluster there. So he's got it hooked up. He decided to put his tack on the right, his speedometer on the left. Then he chose to put his fuel gauge up high, his oil pressure and his temperature units on the left-hand side, and on the bottom right, his voltmeter. And then here on the back, you can see that each one of these minor gauges just comes over and plugs into a certain spot on a major gauge. So now, turn that back around here so I can show them. So right here, you've got a plug on each one of these major gauges. So now the point of getting everything wired up together is going to be this. So New Vintage supplies you with some wiring harnesses here, one for each major gauge. American Auto Wire provides you with harnesses that plug into theirs and are labeled to put, to do all your wiring to your gauges. So now we're going to wire this harness into this harness wherever it needs to go, so that we can, in essence, just trim these down and plug them straight into our wiring harness that we put in the truck. And if everything works out correctly, it should all work as soon as we get going. So we're going to kind of sort through this mess a little bit. We're going to kind of start seeing who needs to plug up to who and where they need to go. And then when we get ready to start splicing some wires and stuff, we're going to come back and check that out. So I'm going to cut y'all off and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so guys, we're back. And let me show you what we've done. So we went through our two separate little harnesses that came from New Vintage, and we started labeling each one of them. Like this is the tack. Oh, let's see if I can get it to focus on that. Maybe not. Anyways, this is our tack, our battery voltage, and our oil pressure unit that's on the main instrument cluster. And on it, we've got a programmable switch, our oil pressure sender, our ground wire, our brake light warning, our tack signal, all that kind of stuff. We labeled everything that's on this harness that feeds the main gauge on that side over there. And we did the same thing with the speedometer one over here also. Now what we're doing is we're going through our wiring harness that came from American Auto Wire, and I want to show them real quick. Let me have one end of it there. So what we're doing is the side that we've labeled on the New Vintage side and the end that goes to our American Auto Wire, we're going through and hooking up each wire where they're supposed to be, just to make sure that everything's accounted for. So like the green wire that's coming from our American Auto Wire is our high beam indicator light in this harness, but on the New Vintage it's a tan wire. So we've just used some blue electrical tape or painter's tape. The reason we're using painter's tape is because if it's not right, it tears off real easy. It doesn't leave any residue on there, so it makes it work pretty easy for us.
We already had to tear it, didn't we?
We already had to tear it. At first we kind of laid the wires side by side and taped them, and then I thought, well, let's tear that off, and if we overlap them like we were going to make a connection, then we can see exactly where everybody's going. So that's where we're at right now. So
I'm on those blue wires.
okay, so you think you've got everything you need right there so far. Okay, so I have here an oil pressure sender. That's not going to go into that harness. I have the brake light switch. It's not going into that harness. I have a left dash indicator.
So left turn signal maybe?
I don't know if that's what that is or not. And then a right dash indicator. I think what these are going to be are the blinkers that blink on the dash as you...
So that would be on this?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, so let's see.
So you have a blue...
What one are you going to hand me first? Left turn or right turn?
So here is your right turn signal. Right turn.
Here we go.
Okay, so hang on.
You dropped it.
Well, I'm trying to get it all untangled. So when we actually start to make these connections, guys and girls at home, we'll actually go through here and make sure they're not all twisted and tangled up and all that kind of stuff. So, all right. So Clance has got those over there.
Will you get me some more tape real quick?
Yep. And like I said, we're just using the old painter's tape because it's easy to use, easy to remove. I haven't made my mind up if we're going to solder these or if we're going to use just butt connectors. I hadn't really made my mind up. Obviously, it would be better to solder them. What I would really like to do is...
This is left turn, right?
Yes. Read it. It says it on there. That's one thing I really like about the American Auto Wire wiring harness is every about 6 inches or so, the wire is labeled with exactly what it is. Like this one says brake light switch. The other one says oil pressure sender every 6 inches, so you know exactly what it does. What I would really like to do is,
that's good.
If we weren't in quite a rush, which we're not really in a rush, and I may make a phone call in the morning, is if I could get these connectors from a new vintage and the pins that go in them, we could build this little end of this harness using these wires, and then it would all, it just plug right in, you know exactly what it did. But we're probably just going to make the connections like so. Okay, so hang on, don't do anything else there.
I was just going to start doing this one because this is the speedometer power and this is the power right here, right?
Yes, but I don't know if that's what we're going to do yet, so don't hook that up yet. So
can I start on the other ones?
So we've used everything in here.
Except for these.
Okay, well I want to do this, so let go. So we've got 2 wires left in our American Auto Wire on this end of this harness, and let's hook them up to that side. So here is your oil pressure sender.
Wait.
So find your oil pressure sender on here.
I was just thinking this will be a bigger mess if we hook this up right now. You know what I mean?
No, let's get it when we do this. Here's what my train of thought is then this entire harness is hooked up and we're done with it. Then we can move to the next portion of the harness and start hooking stuff up.
Okay.
Okay, so
whatever you say, Captain.
That's what I like. There can only be one chief. You're a little Indian today. So,
all right. What am I hooking up?
Oil pressure sender.
Oil pressure.
All right, make that connection. Guys, we're going to continue through this, and when we get it all put together, we'll come back on and show you what we got going, where we're at, so to speak. All right, guys, so we have about got the wiring harness looking about the way we want to. It's going to take probably both of us, so let's hold it up, bub. No. Put the microphone down so you can use 2 hands. There we go. Okay. All right, so we still managed to get that all tangled up there. But okay, so what we've got here is these are our 3 ends that hook into our American Auto Wire harness that we've got in, and then these 2 will plug into the back of the new vintage USA instrument cluster. So we've got everything pretty well lined up now. We feel pretty good because we've only got 2 wires that we don't have wires run to. One of those is the program buttons that let you go through and select the stuff on your instrument cluster, like, you know, when it's time to change your oil, all that kind of stuff, these little buttons that run those functions. We don't have those hooked up yet because we don't really know where we're going to mount them yet. What we're thinking about doing is mounting those within the ashtray. Since Clarence ain't going to be a smoker, we can mount them in there, and then they'll be hidden when the ashtray's closed up.
That's where my train horn's going to be.
He thinks he's going to put a train horn in there.
I don't think nothing.
And the only other thing that we didn't have hooked up yet is what's the orange wire there? The speed sensor, which we've got a electronic speed sensor, so it'll get that hooked up later. Other than that, we've about got everything ready to go, but it's 9 o'clock here at the house. It's down in the 40s outside, it feels like. It's getting cold in the shop. So
And I had to wake up really early this morning.
he had to wake up and go and compete in Livestock Quiz Bowl.
Yep.
Livestock Quiz Bowl through 4-H, and they actually, he and his team ended up 2nd place in our district, which means they get to go to the state competition, which will be held in College Station this summer. So he'll get to go represent our district at the state competition there.
And our A team got first.
And the other team from our county ended up 1st place. So we're going to call it. Probably going to just close the video out for tonight, and once we get we'll come back and probably do another one, getting the instrument cluster set in there just right, getting the gauges all lined up. We're probably going to make just some temporary connections and test all of that just to make sure everything's working properly before we do our final connections. So for Cody and Clance here at the Bar 7 Ranch,
And Izzy and Nala.
Yeah, we're going to say, let's see them. Nala takes full advantage of Izzy. That is pitiful, isn't it? If y'all can't see her, Nala is laying on top of Izzy. Probably because Izzy is warm and the concrete is not. So,
Believe that.
Huh?
I would believe that.
I would believe that too. So, for Cody and Clance from Bar 7 Ranch, y'all keep ranching. Keep ranching.
Keep ranching.
Like and subscribe down below if you would, please. If you enjoy our content, there's something for everybody. Also, if you got a question or a comment, put it down in there. We don't get to all of them, but we try to respond as much as we can. So, y'all keep ranching, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.